New York Governor Cuomo asks private businesses to require COVID vaccination for admission. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Monday he is asking private businesses such as bars and restaurants to require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 as a condition for admission. The number of daily COVID cases in New York has increased fourfold to more than 2,000 cases over the past month as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads, Cuomo said during a news conference. Data shows fully vaccinated individuals are less likely to get infected with the virus or suffer from severe disease. He said, "I am asking them and suggesting to them, go to vaccine-only admission," he told reporters, referring to private businesses. "I believe it is in your best interest." Infectious disease experts and public health officials fear COVID cases fueled by the Delta variant could continue to surge into the fall season when Americans head back indoors and employers begin to bring workers back to the office. In an attempt to slow the spread of the virus, some businesses are asking customers and their employees to show proof of vaccination. On Friday, Disney said it is requiring all salaried and non-union hourly employees in the U.S. to be fully vaccinated against COVID by the end of September. Radio City Music Hall did this months ago, Cuomo said Monday. Reopened. Vaccine only. Sold out all of the shows. Cuomo's comments came the same day he announced a vaccine mandate for employees of the state's MTA and Port Authority, giving transportation workers the option to get vaccinated by Labor Day or face weekly coronavirus testing. The mandate is similar to an order Cuomo issued for state hospital employees last week in response to the surging Delta variant. Gov. Cuomo mandates vaccinations for transit workers as New York's COVID cases surge. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo issued a vaccine mandate for employees of the state's MTA and Port Authority at a press conference Monday, giving transportation workers the option to get vaccinated by Labor Day or face weekly coronavirus testing. The mandate is similar to an order Cuomo issued for state hospital employees last week in response to the surging Delta variant, requiring vaccinations by Labor Day for anyone who regularly treats patients without the alternative of providing regular negative test results. Port Authority's website says the agency employs nearly 7,000 workers, while the MTA employed about 67,000 in total, according to a recent report. I don't believe a mask policy is going to be enough, Cuomo said at the press conference. "I think we're going to have to talk about a vaccination policy." The governor's announcement follows a week that saw New York's 7-day coronavirus case count average jump to 2,418. An increase of 81% from the prior week, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. "You should be vaccinated or don't work in a frontline position," Cuomo said. The governor also said Monday that he is asking private businesses such as bars and restaurants to require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 as a condition for admission. "I am asking them and suggesting to them, go to vaccine-only admission," he told reporters, referring to private businesses. "I believe it is in your best interest." Cuomo previously lifted New York's mask requirements for vaccinated individuals when he adopted the CDC's guidance for the fully inoculated on May 17. New York subsequently eliminated COVID restrictions on businesses, social gatherings, and construction on June 15, after the state reported a 7-day positivity rate of 0.41% the week prior, and 70% of all residents had received at least one vaccine dose. Choose the best commercial lease for your business. In the best of times, commercial leases can be challenging to navigate. In the wake of COVID-19, most business owners are reconsidering a number of factors as they work their way back to something that resembles business as usual. For many, this might include taking a closer look at the best way to move forward with existing or future commercial leases. There are several steps that business owners can take in preparing to negotiate commercial leases that will help avoid costly mistakes down the line. Point 1. Know how commercial leases differ. Before making your decision, commercial tenants should have a general understanding of the types of leases they might encounter when considering a new space for their business. Specifically, they should know the difference between the following: a gross lease is one in which the tenant pays a base rent amount, and the landlord is responsible for paying for all building-related expenses, such as taxes, insurance and general maintenance of the property. At the other end of the spectrum, a triple net lease is a lease where the tenant pays base rent, and in addition, reimburses the landlord for its proportionate share of all of the landlord's building operating expenses. As mentioned above, a modified gross lease falls in the middle. This type of lease includes a base rent amount, but the tenant also pays the landlord its proportionate share of the increase in the building's operating expenses over a base year, generally the first year of the lease. Point 2. Ask your prospective landlord the appropriate questions to anticipate additional expenses if you're in a situation where you're considering a triple net or modified gross lease. You'll want to have a clear understanding from your landlord of how to prepare for expenses above and beyond the base rent you agreed to. Tenants should be sure to ask about anticipated expenses for building maintenance, or potentially negotiate a cap on these expenses in advance of signing a lease, so no surprises come up later on. Point 3. Be sure your new lease agreement includes a force majeure clause. There will be ramifications from COVID-19 for years to come, and many people will be more aware than ever before of the necessity of force majeure clauses in business documents. Essentially, this clause excuses either party from their contractual obligations in the event of circumstances beyond their control, such as acts of God, epidemics or other events that would significantly impact the ability to operate business as usual. Typically, these clauses excuse performance of one kind or another, and are most often associated with landlord or tenant fit-up obligations. But these clauses could also cover rent payment obligations, if drafted properly. Point 4. Expanded insurance coverages may be available. As many business owners have painfully discovered, their existing business interruption insurance coverages did not cover closures resulting from the pandemic. There will likely be changes in the insurance industry in this regard, and business owners need to discuss with their insurance companies the availability of expanded business interruption coverages that would provide some protection if a similar situation were to occur in the future. Have these discussions prior to entering into a lease. A well-drafted lease will provide comfort and a level of protection to a commercial tenant as it enters into the landlord-tenant relationship and all of the business and legal obligations such a relationship involves.